Greetings of the day, everyone. Myself, Jaina Paul, research scholar at Wells Institute of Science, Technology and Advanced Studies, Chennai. First of all, let me thank to INTI International University for giving us this wonderful platform to present our work on the theme Sustainability in Education, Bridging Policy, Practice and Innovation. My paper falls under Track 3, Quality Education for Sustainable Development Goals. The title of my study is Secondary School Teachers' Perception of Competency-Based Education in Idukki, Kottayam and Ernakulam districts of Kerala. I am delighted to be presenting this paper along with my research supervisor, Dr. R. Jayanthi, Associate Professor, School of Education, Wells University, Chennai. This study explores secondary school teachers' perceptions of competency-based education in the districts of Idukki, Kottayam and Ernakulam in Kerala. Grounded in the framework of educational transformation emphasized by the National Education Policy 2020, the study aims to assess the overall level of perception among teachers and to examine whether perceptions differ significantly based on gender and the locality of the school. The sample consisted of 350 secondary school teachers selected through simple random sampling. The findings suggest a moderately positive but uniform understanding of competency-based education among teachers across the selected districts. The study underscores the need for enhanced teacher training, awareness programs, and infrastructure support to deepen the implementation of competency-based education. It also highlights the importance of bridging the gap between policy and classroom practice for a more effective learner-centered education system. Education systems across the globe are increasingly shifting toward approaches that prioritize outcomes, competencies, and learner autonomy. Competency-based education focuses on the demonstration of clearly defined competencies such as critical thinking, collaboration, and subject mastery rather than the traditional time-bound progression. In the Indian context, the National Education Policy NEP 2020 emphasizes the need to shift from the rote memorization to learning that fosters real understanding and skills, placing competency-based education as a strategic priority in school education reform. The role of teachers in this transition is important as their understanding, attitudes, and classroom practices directly influence the success of such educational innovations. This study aims to explore the perceptions of secondary school teachers in the districts of Idukki, Kottayam and Ernakulam in Kerala, a state recognized for its educational excellence. The findings are expected to contribute to policy formulation, teacher training design and contextual adaptation of competency-based education across diverse school settings. There are two objectives. Objective 1, to assess the extent of secondary school teachers' perception of competency-based education in Idukki, Kottayam and Ernakulam districts of Kerala. Hypothesis 1, there is a significant level of secondary school teachers' perceptions of competency-based education in Idukki, Kottayam and Ernakulam districts of Kerala. The results of mean, median, standard deviation, skewness and kurtosis of perception of teachers about competency-based education shown in this given table 1. The mean score of the teacher's perception was found to be 194.52 with a median of 195. So it indicating a fairly symmetrical distribution of scores around the central value. The standard deviation of 17.411 suggests moderate variability among the teacher's perception. The negative skewness value minus 0.143 implies a slightly left skewed distribution, while the kurtosis value minus 0.984 indicates a flatter distribution compared to normal curve. It is explained through the given histogram. The teacher's total perception scores were classified into 3 categories: high, average and low based on the standard deviation cutoff points. The table given below shows the distribution. Table 2. The results reveals that 74% of the teachers demonstrated an average level of perception toward competency-based education. A smaller proportion 12.6% exhibited a high level, 30.4% showed a low level perception. And these findings suggest that the majority of secondary school teachers possess a moderate understanding and acceptance of Objective 2. Compare the level of secondary school teachers' perceptions of competency-based education based on the subgroups such as gender and locality of the school. Hypothesis 2 indicates there is significant difference in secondary school teachers' perceptions of competency-based education with respect to gender and locality of the school. The mean and standard deviation of teachers' perception of competency-based education scores for boys and girls were calculated, and it is shown in this table 3. The mean perception score of male teachers was 195.12, while that of female teachers was 194.05. The calculated t-value is 0.570 and the p-value is 0.569, which is greater than 0.05. Hence, the result is not statistically significant at the 0.05 level. This indicates that there is no significant difference in the perceptions of competency-based education between male and female secondary school teachers. And also, it examined whether the locality of the school influences the teacher's perceptions of competency-based education. An independent sample t-test was calculated and it's shown in the table. The mean perception score of urban schools teachers was 194.58, while that of rural school teachers was 194.44. The t-value calculated is 0.076 and the corresponding p-value is 0.939, which is greater than 0.05. This result is not statistically significant, indicating that there is no meaningful difference in the perceptions of competency-based education between teachers working in the urban and rural settings. Methodology. The present study adopts a descriptive survey method to investigate the perceptions of secondary school teachers regarding competency-based education. The approach is appropriate for gathering quantitative data on existing attitudes, beliefs, and levels of understanding among teachers within natural educational settings. The population and sample. The population of the study comprises secondary school teachers working in government, aided and private schools in the districts of Idukki, Kottayam and Ernakulam in Kerala. A total of 350 teachers were selected as a sample using the simple random sampling technique, ensuring adequate representation from all 3 districts and various types of school management. The tool used for the study for the purpose of data collection: Teachers' Perceptions of Competency-Based Education Scale, which was developed and standardized by the investigator. The tool was designed to measure various aspects of teachers' perceptions regarding the implementation and relevance of competency-based education in secondary schools. The scale comprises a total of 48 items distributed across 7 key dimensions: understanding and awareness, attitudes and beliefs, implementation and practice, support and resources, student engagement and outcomes, technological integration, feedback and continuous improvement. Each item on the scale was rated using a Likert type scale to indicate the level of agreement or frequency, enabling the qualification of teachers' perceptions. The tool underwent expert validation and pilot testing to ensure its reliability and construct validity. Conclusion. The present study offers valuable insights into the perceptions of secondary school teachers regarding competency-based education across The present study offers valuable insights into the perceptions of secondary school teachers regarding competency-based education across 3 diverse districts of Kerala: Idukki, Kottayam and Ernakulam. While the findings reveal that most teachers hold an average level of understanding and acceptance of competency-based education, the lack of significant variation across gender and school locality suggests a consistent yet moderate engagement with the concept. This reflects a pressing need for educational stakeholders to prioritize awareness, training, and resource support for teachers in implementing competency-based education effectively. Beyond simply assessing teachers' perceptions, the study highlights the critical role educators play in transforming classroom practices to align with the objectives of the National Education Policy 2020, which emphasizes outcome-based and learner-centric approaches. Let me conclude. Once again, thank you all. Thank you INTN University. Thank you Wells University. And thanks to the Education Department of Wells University. And also I extend my sincere thanks to my research supervisor, Professor R. Jayanti. Thank you all. I remain.